Now on 767 News, PM Skerrit, Dominica open for offshore investment but with limitations. Orion Academy wins 2015 public speaking competition and students of the ITSS educated on how to avoid social pressures. In sports, Nature Boys ready to face BVI. Welcome to 767 News, Dominica's #1 news source. I'm Malaysia George. When we return, we'll bring you the latest news and developments after this break.
Let's see how easy it is to play Powerball and win. Simply select 4 numbers from 1 to 30 and a Power Pick number from 1 to 5, and that's it. You have just selected your winning numbers for Powerball, or just get a quick pick and let the machine select your lucky numbers for you. Remember, Powerball is drawn every Wednesday and Saturday from 9 p.m. Powerball from the Dominica National Lottery.
Pay absolutely nothing down and nothing further until Easter this carnival at Courts. Yes, it's time to head down to Courts and get everything for your home today and pay absolutely nothing until Easter. Offer applies to credit purchases 24 months and over. Plus, we'll even give you a chance to trade in your old item for something brand new for a nice discount. Up to $400 off. We'll even haul away the old item when we deliver the new. You've got to rush down to Courts today and enjoy this carnival with nothing down and absolutely nothing to pay until Easter. Plus, trade in for a discount. Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back. Days after Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit departed Dominica with a group of high-level delegates, his presence is felt in the country of Malaysia. According to newspaper The Malaysian Insider, Prime Minister Skerrit welcomed investment to Dominica as the country positions itself as an offshore banking facility, but warned that if one is thinking of parking ill-gotten gains in his country, they should think again. We are open for business, but at the same time, we have rules, the Prime Minister said. While regulations are put in place, he added, one does not want to make it difficult for people to place their money in Dominica. But at the same time, we don't want to be a place where those with ill-gotten gains park their money. PM Skerrit said it was imperative on Dominica, as it transforms from an agriculture-based economy to a services-based one, to shake off the negative connotation that comes with offshore banking. We are very well regulated to protect the investments of those who entrust their money with us, but at the same time, there are standards our investors have to abide by, the Prime Minister stated in the article. Prime Minister Skerrit admitted that it would be easier said than done, especially when Dominica is a new player against more established offshore financial centers, which he described as very crowded and which sometimes bring unnecessary attention to themselves. We want to avoid this negative attention by putting in place mechanisms that can assure us that the money being placed here is clean and from legitimate sources, stating that the government of Dominica has a responsibility to itself and the world and therefore cannot be a promoter or facilitator of any illegal activity. Prime Minister Skerrit was in Malaysia for a 3-day visit to oversee the setting up of a high commission in Jalan Ampang, following Malaysia and Dominica formalizing bilateral relations on January 19th. And hard work certainly paid off for the members of the National Youth Council of Dominica, NYCD, as they now have a permanent and more spacious office located on 42 Kennedy Avenue in Roseau, upstairs of the former G's bookstore. During the official launch on Wednesday, President of the NYCD, Josiah Benoit, said when he formed part of the executive in July of 2013, they all had the opinion that their previous office was not conducive to exercising the mandate of the council. Benoit said they then began working on finding a more ideal environment to conduct the work of the NYC, which they now have. Meanwhile, Michelle Bell, who is the NYC's media team internet coordinator, expressed satisfaction in the new office becoming reality.
This move means so much to us in so many ways. As a media team and as a media personnel yourself, you know the effort required and the background work required when you need to assemble stuff together for media presentation. You can't just shoot a video and put it out. You have to sit down at a computer for hours editing. You have a lot of sound checks to do and stuff such as that. And we also we need a place to host our media equipment. So in that regard, a larger space will really go a long way to helping the media team.
Bell, who is also the vice president of the Roseau Central and South District Youth Council, said this new office will also benefit the District Youth Council.
Sometimes we need a space to have, because various trainings, because it's all about empowerment of young people. We need space to house them because yes, it's all well and good to have a training and facilitators, but we need adequate space, we need room for presentation, we may need to have physical activity. So the office space in that regard comes in very handy, and we thank the government of Dominica as well as the rest of the NYC and everyone else who has made this move possible.
Minister of Commercial, Youth, Sports and Constituency Empowerment, Honorable Justina Charles, who delivered the feature address at the function, stated that she is impressed with the activities and involvement of the young people in Dominica. Charles added that the NYC has also been instrumental in developing leaders, and now their president has a voice on their behalf in Parliament as he is now a senator. His Excellency the President of Dominica, Charles A. Savre, and Mrs. Savre were also in attendance at the event. The executive body of the council wishes to express sincere gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit for his unprecedented level of support to the NYCD, absorbing the full cost of securing the new and improved office space for the NYCD. Moreover, the executive board reaffirms its commitment to ensuring that every partner of the NYCD shall benefit from an improved level of service and responsiveness from the council in 2015 as a result of this achievement. In more news, the family of Joshua Etienne, the prisoner who was allegedly brutally beaten to death by police officers while in police custody at the Portsmouth Police Station in 2014, says they are disappointed in the lack of progress in the court's proceedings. Defense lawyer Don Yearwood Stewart told Chief Magistrate Kanja Skerrit George on Wednesday that the defense had no notice that the matter was set for court on Wednesday, hence with the expectation of one officer, Hayden Morgan, all the others were absent. The Director of Public Prosecution, DPP Evelina Baptist, said there was nothing she could do in such circumstances. Morgan was asked to take the stand, where he was warned by Magistrate Skerrit George that he should return to court on April 2nd, 2015. Meanwhile, Maria Etienne Pascal, Etienne's sister, expressed her frustration in the matter.
We, the family, just extremely disappointed that this thing is dragging on for 8 months and nothing is happening. Today at the civil courts, the stay was withdrawn. We expected the officers to be charged or the charge to be read to the officers this afternoon. Yet another delay. It is just so disappointing for the family.
Attorney for the family in the matter, Tiani B. Hansen, said this matter is being deliberately delayed for political reasons as a result of the affiliations of those involved in the matter.
The issue is that if the court proceeding at the Magistrates Court was stopped because there was an impending application at the High Court, that application have now been withdrawn. Therefore, it's left now to the police to continue the process they had started, which is to arrest them officially, bring them to the court, read the charges to them, and then decide who could be bailed and who not could be bailed. What we understand is that of the 5 that were initially charged with murder, there'll be 3 of them facing murder charges and 2 facing lesser charges. Now, it is always open to the family to charge those not charged for murder as a private criminal prosecution. That certainly could still happen. And those discussions are being held right now with the family as we wait to see what happens next.
B. Hansen said the defense attorney has done a supreme job in delaying the matter, which has allegedly resulted in 2 of the police officers possibly facing lesser charges than the original murder charge.
It was always a testing thing to have seen officers who are normally detailed to protect the Prime Minister actually involved in videotaping, audio taping the family while they made press statements. Why was that? Was that necessary? In one instant, I believe a motorcade by the Prime Minister was actually stopped, and officers detailed on that mission stopped to actually intervene in the press conference. I don't know what it's all about. Right? This is obviously deep politics, and it reaches up a stench that only a person who grew up in a ghetto can actually appreciate.
The possibility exists that the 5 police officers charged with the murder of Etienne will have that charge read to them on April 2nd, 2015. All 5 accused are to appear in court next week. The family members have vowed to fight for justice for Joshua Etienne. And as part of their Housing Revolution program, the government of Dominica is continuing efforts to provide proper housing to those in need with the addition of a new housing scheme in the Good Hope Sansovere area. During an official site visit on Wednesday, March 25th, a group of dignitaries were given a tour of the 10 two-bedroom houses constructed in that area. The sole purpose for these houses are to provide shelter to the families affected by the 2013 landslide, which claimed 3 lives. Acting Prime Minister and Minister for Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management, Honorable Reginald Ostry, said this project was done in collaboration with the government of China.
Well, that project really is a continuation of the housing revolution. It's another component of the housing revolution, this time funded by the government of China to the tune of some $1.3 million. It represents the first phase of a commitment that the government made to Dominica. This first phase, and as you heard, it's there to lend support to the persons who were displaced by the landslide, and also some support after Hurricane Ophelia, where funds have been allocated for the construction of some 11 homes on the West Coast, which would be the second component of that project. This is not the only time that our friends have in fact collaborated with us in housing construction. If you may recall, that they also supported some 28 houses that were built in the Caribbean territory to the tune of some $3.7 million. It shows a demonstration of friendship and respect and the benefits that Dominica is deriving from having established relationship with the People's Republic of China. And on behalf of the government and the people of Dominica, I really want to extend my thanks to the ambassador and his team and to convey to his capital our great appreciation for this very, very handsome donation.
Chinese ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Li Jianying, was also present during the visit. He is impressed with the work that has been done with the construction of the houses.
It's beautiful, it's impressive, and after we have seen the houses, they are almost finished, basically finished, and should be ready very soon for people to move in. And I'm also impressed by the government of Dominica, who took a comprehensive approach to this housing project, to make it not only a housing project, but also a community project. They have been thinking about making the area good for children, good for the community, good for families, and that's very impressive. The other thing I want to say is that I'm impressed by the very individual differences between the houses by the two contractors. They did a good job of building the houses.
Also present at the site visit was the Minister for Agriculture and Parliamentary Representative for the Casa Bruce constituency, Honorable Johnson Drago, who gave an insight on the benefits of this project.
In this area, some 2.5 years ago, you may recall the bombing we took by natural disasters. Notably, we lost 3 lives in one of the landslides. And the Prime Minister, in his wisdom, approached the government of the People's Republic of China because we really needed homes for some of the persons who lost their homes, for some of the persons whose home became unusable because there were cracks in the houses, so they had to move to other buildings. Each of the houses you see before you cost $139,000, so you can do the maths. Approximately almost $2 million just for the development of this area, and it has brought tremendous benefit to our youths over the past 5 or so months. We will be developing the play area, so the residents will also have a small playing field for recreation, and all of the residents will get proper walkway into their houses, and they themselves will be responsible for maintaining the area in terms of the planting of flowers and so on. So everything is taken into consideration going forward, the people will actually be coming into a village that is well protected.
He said the families receiving their homes are excited and are looking forward to moving in. The individual families are expected to receive their keys and move into their new homes within 2 to 3 months. Up next, Orion Academy wins 2015 public speaking competition and Dominica's youth to be trained in mobile animation and software development. More details when we return.
Count your Thursdays and win up to $24,000 in cash. For every $9 spent on Big 4, you get a raffle ticket to enter our weekly draws to win $4,000 cash every Thursday for 6 weeks. The more you spend, the more tickets you get, the better your chances of winning every Thursday. That's $24,000 in cash. So play Big 4, count your Thursdays and win up to $24,000 in cash. Only from the Dominica National Lottery. Promotion starts from February 24th to April 2nd.
Welcome back. Emma Lair of the Orion Academy emerged victorious in the inaugural Kiwanis Club Secondary School's public speaking competition, which took place at the Dominica State College's auditorium on Wednesday. 6 schools participated in the 2-round event: the Convent High School, the Northeast Comprehensive, Pierre Charles Secondary, Castle Bruce Secondary, Orion Academy, and the Dominica Grammar School. The competition was staged in 2 rounds, round 1 being presentations on a pre-selected topic, while round 2 was impromptu, which saw presentations on the topic, How I Spent My Summer Holiday.
I found out about this competition 2 days ago, so I missed the last 2 days of school preparing for the competition, so I have a lot of work to catch up on. But otherwise, I had a lot of help from my teachers, and they were really supportive, and my parents were really supportive. So I was pretty confident going up.
Leah said although she was nervous at the start of the competition, once she began her presentations, the nervousness subsided while confidence kicked in. She stated based on the high level of the presentations by her competitors, winning the competition came as a surprise to her.
Oh, this is my first speaking competition. I've never been in any debates. I've done a couple plays back in elementary school, but not really. Like, I've never really done public speaking before.
Is this something you'd like to continue in the future, public speaking competitions or debates themselves?
Well, after doing this, I think I would. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
The Orion Academy student said her participation in the competition has boosted her confidence significantly. The 15-year-old's advice to others is do not let fear hold them back from participating in such events, as there is much to benefit from it. The awards for the competition were as follows: Best Prepared Speech in Round 1, Almira Lewis of the Pierre Charles Secondary School. Best Impromptu Speech, Emma Lair of the Orion Academy. Best Overall Speaker, Emma Lair of the Orion Academy. Third place was the Convent High School, represented by Selena Coffey, while Almira Lewis of the Pierre Charles Secondary School came in second. Several young people in Dominica will join hundreds of other young men and women in Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean for a 2-year capacity building program under the Caribbean Animation and Technology Capacity Building Program, Carib Anitech. The 2-year program builds on previous and ongoing work to promote the growth and development of the animation and application software development sectors in the region. This project will complement work currently being done on animation and mobile application software development in Jamaica by enhancing outreach to include Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They will be equipped to participate in the global multi-billion-dollar mobile application and animation industries following the training funded by the Caribbean Development Bank and its partners. Carib Anitech will build on the success of the Digital Jam, Girls Coding and Kingston interventions in Jamaica and will offer young entrepreneurs the opportunity to learn critical business skills, connect with angel investors, and benefit from a strategic network. It will also provide the animation industry with the trained animators it needs to qualify for international contracts. CDP has allocated a grant of US $500,000 towards the program, while the government of Jamaica will provide Jamaican $4.17 million, the World Bank USD $400,000, and the private sector USD $80,000. This capacity building program is designed to assist in improving in the competitiveness of Barbados and member states of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States in the information and communication technology (ICT) sector by leveraging existing support services in Jamaica. Once fully developed, it is estimated that there is room for 5,000 Caribbean young men and women to join the chain of suppliers of animation and mobile app software services. The value of the animation industry is estimated to have reached USD $222.8 billion globally. Together with the gaming industry, this industry is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of approximately 13% in the near to medium term. And in other stories, students at the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, ITSS, were educated on the importance of making healthy life choices as the school observed Health Awareness Day with a health fair on Wednesday, March 25th. One of the main concerns addressed at the health fair was the use of alcohol and drugs among youth. Wilson Lando, Drug Prevention Officer for the Roseau District, said many young men and women are unaware of the harm they are causing to their body.
Now, this is your life. Your life is important. If you value it, if you value your career, your time in school, let those comments that your teachers give to you find some place in your heart so that you can buckle up. Make good decisions, because the alcohol, the marijuana, they affect your memory. The THC in marijuana, those of you who choose to smoke, it affects the part of the brain that affects your memory. If you cannot remember the things that you've been taught and what you have studied, trust me, when you reach from CXC time, you might just say, boy, I wish that I did not smoke, I wish I did not drink. It's your life. Take it seriously. Your teachers love you, we all love you, your parents love you, but most of all, do you love yourself?
Meanwhile, Anne St. Louis, family life educator at the Dominica Planned Parenthood Association, shared tips with the students about making healthy sexual lifestyle choices.
Very burdensome, and sometimes it can be very difficult to manage, especially with peer pressure, social media, twerking videos, and all of those things that we think are the in thing. And I always tell young people, becoming sexually active is a full-time job. That's when you begin worrying as to whether you get infected, whether you get pregnant, can you take care of a child, what's going to happen to you, did that person have an infection, did I use the condom, was it done properly? All of those things are going to run through your mind. And if you're in school and you have all of that on your mind, you can well imagine that your schoolwork is going to suffer.
St. Louis advises students to delay sexual activity in order to prevent the risk of teenage pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections, which often lead to cancer or HPV. The family life educator said the increase in HPV cases shows that not enough young people are spending time loving themselves.
Most times we get so busy that we engage in relationships because our friend is in a relationship. Sometimes we don't even like the boy. We don't even like much about him. But because he's a popular boy in school, or because he pressured us, or because that girl stands out in class and we really like her, and we think that we should be with her, and because sex is the in thing, that we should take part of it, and we spend very little time loving ourselves, just knowing finding out who you are, what makes you tick, what are the things that you like, what is it that you want to do. And when you've done that and you embrace yourself and you love yourself, there's so much more that you can give to others because you love yourself.
The health fair was a collaborative effort by the Ministry of Health and Environment, the Health Promotion Unit, National Drug Prevention Unit, National HIV and AIDS Response Program, the Dominica Planned Parenthood Association, and the St. Joseph Health Team. And that's it for local news. The latest in sports news is coming up next with Larry, so stay tuned.
Hey, it's your boy Mr. Benji N2O, encouraging you to come support Dominica versus the BVI right here at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium for what we call the biggest World Cup qualifier ever. First game will be on Thursday, March 26th. Game starts at 7 p.m. sharp. Game 2 gonna be on Sunday, March 29. Game starts at 5 p.m. Admission $15 for adults and $5 for children under 12. You can't afford to miss this. Come support the Nature Island boys. Mr. Benji said so.
Good evening and welcome to 767 Sports. We begin tonight's coverage with football. Ian Pinnett's Soufriere Spartans and Buster Warner recorded wins on Wednesday evening when the action continued in the 2015 Dominica Football Association DFA All-Island League. Spartans edged out Digicel Newton Juvenile Academy Harlem United by 2-1 at the Newton playing field. Kieran Lewis and Sholon Humphrey scored for Spartans, with Kevin Williams scoring for the academy. At the Buffet State playing field, Buster Warner hammered Trafalgar Academy 5-2. Shaquille Tousse, Sherlon Pierre, Darwin Augustus, Sheldon Pierre, and Nez Ernest scored for Warner, while Nathaniel Daniel and Sherwin Yankee scored for Trafalgar. Meanwhile, in the DFA Sports Division Secondary School Girl League on Wednesday, Portsmouth Secondary defeated the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School by 4-2 at the Benjamin's Park. Donisha Javier and Alia Prince scored 2 goals for Portsmouth, with Michelin Morgan scoring both goals for the Isaiah Thomas Secondary. In more football, Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Football Association, Gerald Judd, says they are optimistic that the Nature Boys will be victorious when they face the British Virgin Islands in the 2 World Cup 2018 qualifying matches on Thursday, March 26th and Sunday, March 29th.
I must say so far that we, at the executive level, we like what we see. According to the technical staff of the team, that the team seemed to be prepared. 2 weeks ago, we had a friendly international in Antigua against Antigua. Although we went down 1-0, but there were a lot of positives that were taken from that game. We saw the shortcomings, and the guys went back to the drawing board and to prepare for the first game against BVI on Thursday. The first game actually is a very important game for us in the sense that it is BVI's home game, and it is our away game, because both games are being staged here because BVI doesn't have a stadium, so both games are being staged in Dominica. So first day's game is the home game for BVI, so which means that Dominica cannot allow BVI to score.
He said for both matches, it is important that the Nature Boys prevent the BVI from scoring, while they themselves score goals against BVI so as to gain the advantage in rankings, moving to the next round of matches against Canada in June of this year.
Well, Sunday's game begins at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're expecting a bumper crowd on Sunday. We're expecting because it's a Sunday, we deem it the family day on Sunday, so everybody should come to the Windsor Park Stadium and really rally behind the national team. It's important that we win the 2 games so that we can move to the second leg with a lot of confidence, because we're going to take on a giant in football, Canada. That's the next team. If any of the teams that qualify for the next leg will be taking on Canada in June. So it will be a home and away. We'll play 1 game here and 1 game in June. So after this leg, when we get through, we will be preparing intensively for when we match up with Canada in June.
Judge said White was the caller for Dominicans to wear on Thursday to support the Nature Boys, while they advised to wear green to support the team on Sunday. He stated the team is ready for the 2 matches as they have been preparing immediately following last year's independence celebrations.
I'm very optimistic. We've had a very good record against BVI, but over the years, teams change, teams make changes. Maybe they have players from overseas. We cannot depend on the past record that we have over BVI, but definitely I'm very optimistic that we can get past BVI and move on to the second leg.
The team comprises Glenson Prince, captain, Chad Bertrand, vice captain, Hubert Prince, Travis Joseph, Glensworth Elise, Malcolm Joseph, Aldrin Lawrence, Niall Lee, Randolph Peltier, Julian Wade, Kevin Lawrence, Brian Thomas, Mitchell Joseph, Jocelyn Prince, Scotty Phillip, Malian Phillip, Sidney Lockhart, Bert Casimir, Owen Oscar, Rallison Pascal, Afeni Frederick, Dalton Barnes, and Courtney McKenzie. And that's it for tonight's sportscast. Tune in again tomorrow for more sports news.
That was Larry with the latest in sports. Now for a recap of tonight's headlines. PM Skerrit says Dominica open for offshore investment but with limitations. Orion Academy wins 2015 public speaking competition, and students of the ITSS educated on how to avoid social pressures. In sports, Nature Boys ready to face BVI. And that's all the time we have for now. Until tomorrow, drop us an email at media@767news.dm. Friend us on Facebook and be sure to like our 767 News page. From all of us on the 767 News production team, I'm Alicia George, wishing you a wonderful evening and thanks for watching.